and hear and touch the energy in the room. Thank you so much for honoring me this evening. That's truly remarkable and truly humbling for me. You know, in Wichita, Kansas, where my wife Susan and I lived, and we still think of as home, we had an amazing Orthodox community. We remain deeply close to them even today. And when I traveled to Greece and to Cyprus and met with your leadership and Prime Minister Mitsotakis in Greece as Secretary of State, I remember thinking of our friends back home, back in South Central Kansas. Good people, hardworking people, honest people. And I knew that if I didn't get it right on my visit, I would hear from them. Mr. President, it was lovely to hear your words tonight. As I was watching you, I was thinking that you were the foreign minister when I was Secretary of State, and you got promoted and I got fired. Congratulations to you. Maybe I should try and do it. Maybe that's the answer. It is wonderful to see you. You are a dear friend and a great leader of the people of Cyprus. Congratulations to you on your election. Well deserved, and I know you will do great things for the people of your country. It's also an honor to be here tonight with Archbishop Epiphoros, your Eminence. I remember our time together. I remember one of the most singular, memorable visits of my entire 4 years in service to America, to visit with the Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew in Constantinople. Our conversation then covered many topics, but at its heart, at its very center, we discussed the importance of religious freedom, basic human dignity, the respect for sovereign nations, and fighting against persecution. And so as I sit here tonight with you all, it is truly an honor to get an award called the Freedom Award, because securing freedom around the world, both for the people of my country here in America and that of our partners and allies and the people of Cyprus and Greece and Cypriots all across the world, well, it was the chief objective as my time of Secretary of State. You all know this. You see that we have a very different administration now. I don't mean that to be political, but we made championing religious freedom one of the State Department's and our country's core priorities during my entire time there. It wasn't to score political points at home or to chastise nations abroad. It was because we genuinely believed in the importance of securing religious freedom for every people, for every person, as the most fundamental right of individuals all across the world. We believed in it because we knew that faith and religious liberty matter to our country's character. Here in America, it's always been our first freedom. Spoke of Ben Franklin, but all of our founders understood that respect for things like property rights, free speech, are absolutely impossible without respecting the basic rights of people, the freedom to worship their God just as one pleases. That's why I drove some crazy by prioritizing visiting with Patriarch Bartholomew in Constantinople. Despite the Turkish government's thinly veiled protests over it, it's why in the Trump administration we always sought to build coalitions of nations who shared an appreciation for that very freedom, for enterprise and commerce and the rule of law. That's why engaging with like-minded partners who value freedom was so lovely for me and for our country. Look, these partnerships result in long-lasting, more secure relationships. That's good. But most importantly, they create a more secure and prosperous world. You know, I think of the events as we're here tonight. I think of the events over the past few years. I think it makes it so clear. Russia's invasion of Ukraine was a direct result of Vladimir Putin feeling confident. Our work, the work that we all did together, so many people in this room, to make clear that Ukraine and its Orthodox Church deserved its own rights, its own space, has been made so clear to see the behavior of the Russian Orthodox Church during this conflict. We've seen noble responses from all across the world. Indeed, Europeans' response to Putin's invasion was good and wonderful, but insufficient to deter Vladimir Putin. We all need to do more to protect the Orthodox Church in Ukraine and the people of Ukraine more broadly. We, Those of us, countries that believe in the same principles of freedom, no matter our other differences, have to work together. We have to depend on one another. When I was Secretary of State, we took this so seriously. We brokered the Abraham Accords. 3 Abrahamic faiths, very different. And we did so because we knew there were real areas of cooperation and freedom between America, Israel, and its Arab neighbors, and peoples all throughout Europe and the Eastern Mediterranean. When we sought these diplomatic agreements, we put the hard work of establishing deterrence to its real test, because a regime that cares little for freedom and would see it crushed in favor of a radical Islamic ideology is not one to be trifled with, and one that we, people of America, the Balkans, of Cyprus, of Greece, one that we all have a duty to make sure that we push back against. While it's often the case, you all know this, it's often the case that we emphasize efforts to deter the likes of China and Russia and Iran, we saw conflict spin up within NATO and at the United Nations. I want every one of you in the room tonight to know that every region of the world matters to securing freedom. I spent a fair amount of time, perhaps a disproportionate amount of time, working on that special case in the Eastern Mediterranean with the peoples of that place. I worked to ensure America's relationship with nations like Cyprus and Greece were stronger than they had ever been in American history. This was certainly true because of the enormous economic potential that flows from that, but more importantly because we knew it would help the cause of peace and freedom all around the world. As a result of these efforts, we built out a critical partnership with Cyprus and Greece and Israel. We called it the 3+1 dialogue, but it was far more powerful than 3+1. It was as powerful as the peoples of this place. It had great economic results. It had fantastic security results. And as the war in Ukraine continues, Europe needs the energy and resources that are found in the Eastern Mediterranean and only accessible to nations like Greece and Cyprus. They need these resources, this ability to continue to prosecute this defense against the atrocious behavior of the Russians. We need Greek ports, we need ports in Cyprus, we need communications between these places. I am confident that our work together must continue in the economic space, even as we press for better outcomes for people in each of these places as well. The goal is not simply for our business to prosper. It is for free nations to prosper alongside each other and isolate those who seek to impose radically different models based on tyranny and control. I'm confident we can do this. Free nations. Free nations need to deepen our engagement with one another in every way because we know that it's precisely what our adversaries are doing betwixt and between themselves. Frankly, Russia's economy largely survived Western sanctions because China's purchased its sanctioned oil, and that Iran has purchased and supplied Putin with drones that have killed Ukrainian innocent kids and soldiers. Even North Korea now appears to begin getting in on the action. None of us can be secure, none of us can prosper without making sure that we do great work amongst free nations together. We can, and I'm confident we will, use every possible advantage we possess to check this alignment and to secure freedom. I must say, as I look here through the screen and see you all out in the audience tonight, I am grateful for groups like the Federation of Cypriot American Organizations. I'm grateful because we will need your help in fostering these connections and deepening our economic engagement together. It is an incredible honor to receive this award tonight. I look forward to working together with you in the future. May God bless each of you. May God bless this organization. And may God bless each of us as we work toward this combined prosperity. Thank you, and God bless you all.